You sit down in a theater, the lights dim, and the screen fills with a $300 million world. Yet the images projected in front of you often feel distinctly weightless. Compare that to the 1963 production of Cleopatra. To shoot scenes like this, the studio built 10 square blocks of Rome in Italy. They employed 8,000 extras, tailored 100,000 costumes, and utilized 40,000 cubic feet of physical lumber. The capital investment was physically present on the set. Movie studios behave as rational financial actors, and audiences are responding to the specific visual evidence projected on screen. If a massive modern budget is not buying visible on-screen scale, we have to ask what exact industrial mechanism that capital is actually purchasing. Budget opacity hides how that capital is actually distributed. A publicly stated production budget is often a calculated accounting construct, packed with allocations for studio overhead, marketing, and talent holding fees. Even Cleopatra suffered from this. Its enormous price tag was driven heavily by years of talent holding costs for a 6-star and the chaotic expense of shooting and relocating without a finished script, rather than just the physical materials. Today, that invisible cost center has shifted. The modern blockbuster relies on a highly specialized, fiercely competitive global visual effects pipeline. This Los Angeles Times article documents a stark reality. In 2013, Rhythm and Muse filed for bankruptcy days before winning an Oscar. Scrolling down reveals why. Studios pay a fixed amount. When movies face delays, VFX houses absorb those extra costs. To maintain immense scale, studios systematically transfer their financial risk onto a fragile, largely invisible digital labor force. This graphic illustrates the cost of optionality. Instead of buying final pixels, studios are purchasing the right to alter the film entirely in post-production. In classical physical production, decisions locked early. In a digital pipeline, the project remains open to change. This flat digital risk curve lets them radically alter environments after test screenings, functioning as a corporate insurance policy. A modern 9-figure budget functions as a sophisticated risk management tool designed to protect IP, rather than a direct investment in traditional artistic creation. Major theatrical releases now anchor global intellectual property portfolios, designed as multi-format deliverables that populate streaming platforms and physical merchandise. This chart tracks estimated annual content spend across leading media companies. Looking at the upper trend line, total investment reached a record $210 billion in 2024. The industry views continuous spending as a critical competitive lever to maintain those sprawling portfolios. Contrast this Western optimization model with China's state-driven film industry. Beijing pours heavy investment into massive physical studio infrastructure, like the $8.2 billion Qingdao Oriental movie metropolis, to generate domestic blockbusters. This model prioritizes domestic control. While these films generate immense physical scale, they struggle to resonate internationally. Hits like The Battle at Lake Changjin or Wolf Warrior 2 remain virtually unknown in the West, where audiences often perceive the state-vetted, censored scripts as jingoistic propaganda. We also have to account for our own survivorship bias. We easily recall the massive physical epics of the 1960s, but we forget the thousands of cheap, invisible B-movies produced in the exact same era. Different markets define cinematic value according to their own pressures. Hollywood currently optimizes for digital adaptation, while other markets optimize for state-approved physical scale. Looking forward, the integration of generative AI poses a new economic question. If visual effects become radically cheaper, will studios reinvest those savings into grand physical spectacle, or will it simply widen the divide between disposable streaming filler and theatrical events? There are rare exceptions. A few major directors currently leverage their box office clout to enforce practical physical production methods, actively resisting the institutional default. Hollywood's invisible ledger successfully purchases franchise durability and creative insurance. But the ultimate survival of the theatrical blockbuster depends on whether audiences can sit in a dark room and once again physically feel the weight of the capital being spent.